Hello everyone, welcome back. TOC News. Prince Harry arrived at the United Nations headquarters in New York City with an air of quiet confidence. It was a brisk morning, and the towering glass structure of the UN glimmered under the pale sunlight. The event Harry was attending was a closed-door session, an intimate gathering of world leaders, activists, and influential figures dedicated to addressing pressing global issues. This wasn't a typical red carpet appearance or a high-profile gala. It was an opportunity for meaningful dialogue, and Harry's presence signified his commitment to causes close to his heart. Inside, the room was set up in a semicircle, the iconic UN emblem prominently displayed on the wall behind the speakers. The attendees, numbering no more than 50, included some of the most influential minds in environmental conservation, humanitarian efforts, and global health. The atmosphere was charged with a sense of purpose, a collective determination to tackle some of the world's most challenging issues. Harry took his seat near the front, dressed in a sharp navy suit, his demeanor calm yet attentive. As the session began, the moderator introduced the theme of the event, global responsibility in the face of crisis. The first speakers delved into topics ranging from climate change to the refugee crisis, each presentation sparking deep conversations among the attendees. Harry listened intently, occasionally jotting down notes or nodding in agreement. When it was his turn to speak, the room fell silent. There was a palpable respect for the prince, not just because of his royal status but because of the authenticity and passion he brought to his advocacy. Harry began by expressing his gratitude for being included in such an important conversation. He spoke about his journey, from his days as a young prince shielded from the harsh realities of the world to his awakening as a global citizen who recognized the urgency of addressing societal and environmental challenges. Harry's speech was deeply personal. He touched on the lessons he had learned from his mother, Princess Diana, about compassion and the importance of action. He recalled moments from his travels to some of the world's most vulnerable regions, where he witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of climate change, poverty, and inequality. He shared a particularly moving story about a visit to a remote village in southern Africa, where he met a young boy who had lost his parents to AIDS. The boy's resilience and hope, despite his circumstances, left an indelible mark on Harry, fueling his commitment to creating a better future for the next generation. As Harry spoke, his voice was steady, but his emotions were evident. He emphasized the need for collaboration, urging leaders, governments, and individuals to break down barriers and work together. "We cannot afford to operate in silos," he said. "The challenges we face today are interconnected, and so must be our solutions. It's time to act boldly, to think beyond our borders, and to prioritize the collective good over individual gain." The room erupted in applause as Harry concluded his speech, his words resonating deeply with the audience. What followed was an open discussion, and Harry actively participated, engaging with other attendees and sharing insights. His ability to listen and contribute meaningfully further cemented his reputation as a thoughtful and informed advocate. During a brief break, Harry mingled with the attendees, exchanging ideas and forging connections. He spoke passionately about his initiatives, including Travelist, which promotes sustainable tourism, and Archewell, his foundation with Meghan Markle that focuses on community and compassion. Many attendees commended Harry for using his platform to shine a light on critical issues and for his hands-on approach to making a difference. The event continued with breakout sessions, where smaller groups delved deeper into specific topics. Harry joined a discussion on climate resilience, sharing his experiences and emphasizing the importance of empowering local communities to lead the fight against climate change. His insights, combined with his genuine interest in learning from others, made a lasting impression on his peers. As the day drew to a close, the attendees gathered once more to reflect on the discussions and outline actionable steps. Harry's presence had not only added weight to the event but had also inspired many to approach their work with renewed vigor and purpose. As he left the UN building, surrounded by a small team and a handful of well-wishers, there was a sense that his involvement in such events was just the beginning of a larger, impactful journey. Outside, the sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the city. Harry paused briefly to take in the scene before getting into his car. For him, this wasn't just another event, it was a reminder of why he had chosen this path, a path dedicated to service, advocacy, and creating a better world for generations to come. Prince Harry has become one of the most prominent global advocates for climate change, bringing a unique blend of passion, influence, and practical engagement to his work. His commitment to environmental issues, rooted in both personal conviction and lived experience, has made him a trusted ally for organizations like the United Nations, which sees him as an invaluable partner in addressing the planet's most pressing challenges. Harry's journey into climate activism began during his early travels as a young member of the British royal family. He often spoke of the transformative impact of witnessing the stark realities of climate change firsthand, particularly during his visits to vulnerable regions in Africa and island nations in the Pacific. These early experiences gave him a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of the natural world and the dire consequences of failing to protect it. Over the years, Harry's work evolved from raising awareness to driving action. He co-founded Travelist, a global initiative aimed at revolutionizing the tourism industry by promoting sustainable travel. Under Harry's leadership, Travelist has partnered with major companies and organizations to develop innovative solutions that reduce the environmental impact of tourism. The initiative encourages travelers to make eco-friendly choices, such as selecting low-emission flights and supporting destinations that prioritize conservation. For Harry, Travelist isn't just a project, it's a reflection of his belief that small, individual actions can create a ripple effect of positive change. The United Nations has taken particular notice of Harry's efforts, not only because of his high-profile platform but also due to the authenticity and depth of his commitment. UN officials often praise Harry's ability to bridge the gap between grassroots activism and high-level policy discussions. He brings a unique perspective to the table, combining his global influence with a genuine desire to listen, learn, and collaborate. One of the reasons the UN values working with Harry is his focus on empowering local communities. During a keynote address at a UN climate summit, Harry highlighted the importance of placing indigenous and marginalized communities at the forefront of environmental conservation. He spoke passionately about his visits to Botswana, where he worked alongside local organizations to protect wildlife and combat deforestation. The solutions to our climate crisis are already being lived and practiced by those who are most affected, he said. We need to elevate their voices and learn from their wisdom. Harry's ability to connect with people on a personal level is another factor that makes him an effective climate advocate. During his engagements with the UN, he has participated in roundtable discussions with scientists, activists, and policymakers, often emphasizing the importance of collaboration and shared responsibility. Unlike many public figures who focus solely on speeches and photo ops, Harry is known for engaging deeply with the issues and the people working to solve them. One example of this hands-on approach is his involvement in reforestation projects. In 2021, Harry joined a UN-backed initiative aimed at planting millions of trees across the African continent to combat desertification and restore ecosystems. He not only championed the project publicly but also visited planting sites, working alongside local volunteers and learning about the challenges they faced. His willingness to roll up his sleeves and contribute physically to the work earned him immense respect from those on the ground. The UN also values Harry's ability to inspire younger generations to take action. As a father, Harry often speaks about his concern for the world his children will inherit. This personal connection resonates deeply with audiences, particularly young people who are increasingly anxious about climate change. During a virtual UN panel on youth and climate action, Harry urged young activists to continue their work, assuring them that their voices were being heard. The energy and passion you bring to this fight are what give us hope, he said. You are the leaders we need now, not in some distant future. In addition to his public advocacy, Harry has used his platform to amplify scientific research and support policy initiatives. His work with the UN's Environment Programme has focused on promoting renewable energy, reducing plastic pollution, and addressing the disproportionate impact of climate change on developing countries. Harry is particularly vocal about the need for systemic change, urging governments and corporations to prioritize sustainability over short-term profit. This isn't just about saving the planet, he said during a UN event. It's about ensuring justice for those who bear the brunt of a crisis they did not create. Another reason the UN enjoys working with Harry is his ability to mobilize resources and build partnerships. As a global figure, he has access to influential networks and organizations that can provide funding, expertise, and visibility for climate initiatives. For example, through Archwell, the foundation he co-founded with Meghan Markle, Harry has supported projects focused on clean energy, conservation, and community resilience. The foundation's work aligns closely with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, making Harry a natural partner in advancing these objectives. Despite his many achievements, Harry is quick to acknowledge that the fight against climate change requires collective effort. He often credits the scientists, activists, and local leaders who dedicate their lives to this cause, positioning himself as a supporter rather than a savior. This humility, combined with his unwavering determination, has endeared him to the UN and other global organizations. In the eyes of the UN, Harry represents a new kind of leader, one who combines influence with integrity and action. His work in climate change is not just about addressing a crisis, it's about building a movement that prioritizes humanity and the planet. For Harry, this mission is deeply personal, a reflection of his values and his vision for a better future. And for the UN, having a partner like Harry means having a powerful advocate who can inspire change on a global scale.